amplifier, spot for the amplifier. What are we gonna do? Come up with this here, which, yeah, it looks like a bunch of chicken scratch and whatnot. For the most part, it's gonna use this factory screw mount here, this factory screw mount here. It's gonna come over to this area. Wiring is gonna go that, yeah, lots of things. First things first is let's get over to the saw and get this roughed out, and then we can come back in here and see how this is all gonna fit and make sure that, well, make sure I got it right. For the main bracket, we're gonna need a piece to start with that is 17 by 12. For this, I'm gonna be using 1/4 inch ABS. I have the table saw set up. I've taken the panel saw and ripped down a smaller piece so it's more manageable. And it's ABS. Strongly recommend wearing a face shield. This gets us the first piece. Now I need to transcribe these measurements onto this. I'm gonna do it on the back side, so that also adds some fun because I need to do it in reverse, so that when I flip it over, you don't see all the cool white lines that we're gonna draw on it. And this guy here is what we end up with. Little checks to make sure these are the ones you cut out. Now I'm gonna have some fun and remove these on the table saw. Ooh, yeah. This is it. This is what it looks like. I need to put a bend here, like a little L bend. I'll use the heat gun to do that. But this is all set and ready to go in there. Join me in the car and we'll take a look and see how I did. Put some bends into it. This guy right here. Added a little bend to the front. We end up with a one-time custom fit ABS bracket. The amplifier is going to sit just like this. That'll give us plenty of room to run the wiring. I'll probably add some holes or something like that for the wiring to go through in the end. But for right now, that is all good. What I need to do is put the factory screws in, and then I'm gonna press down on this to mark the area where the factory screw goes, so that when it's time to, all I have to do is screw the thing in place. Of course, with that built, it's on to the fun part, which is actually doing the wiring. As you can see, it takes a minute or two to design the ABS bracket to mount that, but it'll be nice. It's out of the way, plenty of clearance between the seat. That subwoofer was really tall. Join me over on the bench and we will start the process of getting the amplifier mounted into place and also running all the wiring. Let's take a look at the amplifier we're going to be using for this, the XR901.5 Exelon 5-channel amplifier. This thing is a powerhouse. We've dynoed this thing. It puts out a ton of power. First up, you get a bag of screws, bag of Allen keys. They are extra long Allen keys. I kind of like using them. It comes with a bag of screws for the bass knob. There is a bass knob included in this. Located right here. Standard phone cable, bass knob. And the amplifier itself comes in this cool padded envelope. With two sides to every amplifier, let's take a look at the dials on the side of this guy right here. First up, it has both high level and low level input. Min-max on the input sensitivity is between 5 and 0.2 volts. A is front, B is back, C is sub. The reason why I say A and B kind of goes back to what we were talking about when we said we're going to do bi-amping. And depending on how I edited this, you may or may not know that already. But for this, channel A is going to be our dash speakers, those 2.5s. Channel B is going to be the 6x9s. And then we're going to be using the radio with its level control, crossover, and time alignment to power the rear 6.5s that are going to be going in. Has a subsection. Now this is the one oddity on this amplifier. The bass knob plugs in here and has to be wrapped around to the front. It's the only thing that plugs in on this side, which is the back side. You can see from the fan here. Bass boost between 0 and 18 dB. Low pass crossover 50 to 200 hertz. The A and B are also 50 to 200 hertz. That means we'll be running the crossovers that come with the 2.5s. Because this does not go up high enough for them actively, we will be setting it at 200 hertz to limit any other issues it may have. High pass filter on and off for both A and B. And then if we flip it over, right down here on the input side, there is one more switch that has to do with these RCA inputs here, which is for sub, or A and B. That is if we were doing, let's say, high level input where we just have front, we just have rear. You're going to use an RCA to speaker wire adapter to do that. If you select A, B, the sub will be generated from these two inputs here and give you a non-fade subwoofer output. 4-gauge power and ground, and then everything else is a 12-gauge input, including your remote turn on. On the top of the amplifier, it has these two Allen screws here. Those need to be removed. That will access the screws to tighten down the terminals through here. A is up first, followed by B, and then your sub portion. You can bridge this if you'd like to, so if you want to use it as a really powerful 3-channel amplifier, you can do that. Left positive, right negative will allow you to achieve those goals. It has 3 40-amp fuses located here, and it's a pretty compact size for what we're going to be using this for and the amount of power it has. Removing the top plate, setting it aside. Always put your screws back in when you're done removing a top plate if they are going to be loose, so you don't lose them. As we all know, nothing sucks worse than getting to the end of this project and having to find the screws. Might be a day, could be a week, you never know. And this is also why I like using these, because as you can see how long this thing is, it goes down in there rather far. It is time to start wiring up the amplifier. I have 2 things I want to get done right away, and that is installing the bass control wire, and that plugs back here in the back. I'm going to zip tie it up and have it come this way along here, and then the speaker wires, which I've already twisted up some. I have a white, black, and a gray black, which are going to be my 6x9s. Then I have a white orange and a gray orange are going to be my 2.5s in the dash. I've put ferrules on the ends of the wire, and as far as routing goes, my plan is to have them come out and move along this way. The speaker wires and the RCAs are going to come through here. The power wire is going to turn and then immediately go down through the amp rack, because where I need them to come is through this area but in the car itself. To do that, left is going to be the white with orange. White is my positive. Slide it into place, screw it down, and then gray with orange is going to be my passenger side. Gray will be positive. Follow it up with B, white and black. White will be my positive, and then gray will be positive, black will be negative for the last speaker in this. For creating the holes for our zip ties, we have our wire ruler that you can get on mobilesolutionsUSA.com. We make it, we put on here the size drill bits you should be using. For this, we're going to be using a 9/64 because we're going to be using some 4-inch zip ties. I'm going to tuck this up against the amplifier as tight as I can. I will pre-make my holes. I don't need to go all the way through, I just need to mark them. And I'll come back a tad and make a group of secondary holes. And with those marked, now I can go through and do the whole thing. If you're up against the amplifier like this and you're worried that you might scratch it, put some blue tape on there, put your hand there, do whatever you can to avoid that from happening. The next step is to tuck these wires all up in here like this. I'm going to repeat the same process for my bass knob. Right now the speaker wire is just kind of not finished. It's up and good there, but the bass knob comes all along here, makes a little jog, comes out, and that is all set. The reason why I didn't want to finish this yet is because of the RCAs. I need to get those into place. For that, we're going to be using some 6-footers. These are the Stinger 4000s, and what we like to do is put some shrink wrap on the ends of them to tell us what is what. In this case, with a white and gray, this is telling us that this is the front, and we will take this shrink wrap. These are about a 1 1/4 piece. You have your red and you have your clear. Slide it over, shrink it down into place, and repeat the process on the gray. Once those cool down, we'll plug them in. They're really hot right now. I don't want to burn my fingers. The sub wire doesn't get any shrink wrap. That's the one constant that we do. Also on the 4000s, they have a connect to source. That has to do with the drain wire that's inside of these for noise. A lot of people go, twisted pair, it's directional. Usually that's only if there's a drain wire. Sub plugs in like so, and then the rear, and then the sub. Okay, let's take a minute and think about this, because how we're going to be hooking this up is actually, this is just going to be powering front. However, they do not have a switch that feeds A into B. I could put Y connectors here and just run one RCA, which is fine, or I could put Y connectors behind the head unit. I'm going to put them behind the head unit. I like doing it there. To me, it's a much better place to put it, and that way I'll just run here and here. A couple reasons for that. If for some reason we decide we want to change change it and go front rear for whatever reason. I'll be able to do that. If one of the RCAs goes bad, which like there's like a 1% within 1% chance of that happening. But either way, it's just the way I like to do it. And I will cover these in the green and purple of the rear, just like I've done here, to mark which one is what. That way in my brain, I'll know exactly what RCA goes to what connection point. Now that the white is cooled, I can get that put in. There's a natural like twist to an RCA. A lot of people just don't think about silly stuff like this. When plugging these RCAs in, kind of straighten those out and make sure that you have that twist right. It will make zip tying them into place or zip tying into a bundle or however you do it way easier. With the RCAs in place, I can now finish off getting the speaker wire run and everything coming off to this side. I'm also going to tape up both of these independently so that they can look factory and go up into the dash where they need to go. I also need to bring my remote turn on over along here into this because that as well is going to be going up into the dash. I'll be running that with the RCAs though because the speaker wires are going to be running up underneath the passenger seat. Get my holes lined up. I will be running them in parallel to the bass knob right here. So I'm going to have them come over and turn just a little bit and line up. I want to keep everything as far to this side as possible.